One of the important factors that nobody talks about when it comes to the hybrids and the plug-in hybrids and the electric vehicles is that the range. How far can we go with these vehicles? But think of it: your gas car, it only went what? You'd be lucky if it got only 20 in the city and 25 on the highway. The electric vehicles, the hybrids, and all of them, they range are different when it comes to city driving. They're designed. The hybrids are designed to go further in the city, more mileage. Did you know there was a car that could get 35 in the city and 45 on the highway, but only had a 10-gallon tank and only had a stick shift, and it didn't have no gas. It didn't have no air conditioning, and it didn't have no springs. It used a truck shock, upside down. Instead of going like this, it went on the opposite direction. You know, because normally shocks, the plunger is up here. Let's say it was the opposite direction. Yeah. I had one of those vehicles, but they don't sell them in the United States anymore. No, it wasn't a Yugo. The car, yes, which in French it means the car. That had a 4-speed overdrive um, transmission, which went out on me. It cost me $500 to get that fixed. Rear brakes, you have to adjust them manually. Yeah, the rear brakes can go on you like that. And the drum brake, but they had a 10 millimeter socket in the back. You take a 10 millimeter wrench and you tighten it until it tightens. Isn't that terrible? Then it's self-adjusting. You have to tighten them, and you have to use a 4x4 beam to lift up the back. So you put the jack in the dead center of the rear because it was independent suspension. There was no they had it stabilizer bar. There was one in the back, two on the sides, and one in the front. So it had good handling because you can go like very tight. Like modern day cars don't really can go that tight, but yeah, there was a lot of trade off with that vehicle. But it got you can go 450 miles on gasoline, unleaded, but you only had a 10-gallon tank, and 350 miles on your gasoline. But there's no air conditioning. It's really stripped down. A lot of people didn't want to go in it because when the wind comes, it can lift up the vehicle. But that was a prime example of a vehicle that could good gas mileage. So what happened? Why can't we get any gas miles like that anymore? But yes, you can with a hybrid. That little AA battery in the back, in the back, in the rear seat, that could get better gas mileage. But in the city, highways was a little less. I really couldn't tell you. And those estimates they put on there, those are not in real world testing. Like they're really driving in your driveway, you're stuck in traffic. That's what they tested. You are the one. And then you have to get tires. You have to get special tires. You can't just use regular tires. You have to get special tires. I don't wonder why they don't come out with this silicone tire. It would last much longer than the rubber tire. Why are we using rubber tires? We should be using silicone. It makes no sense, doesn't it? But that's what they do. It's crazy, isn't it? And the silicone wipers, I have that. We're allowed to have silicone wipers, but shoot. Yeah, I actually had to deliver some food to a while back. Oh yeah, I was doing that too. Yeah, yeah. Um, I delivered it to a place where they sell wiper blades. So the CEO, if you ever need any wiper blades for your car, come back to us or SUV. Yeah, it was the CEO, and the chief officer. Yeah. Top of the line, $30 wiper blades each. Yeah, but they were silicone. I still prefer Rain Dance better because it had that futuristic look. It didn't look like a wiper blade. It had that futuristic stuff. So when the wind came, it lasted. They last a long time, by the way. Don't forget, if you ever wear a wiper blade in the back, you have to replace that. A lot of people forget about that blade. The silicone is better than the rubber. It lasts much longer. Yeah, you don't have to clean it often. Yeah, so You have to pay more for those, by the way. Like I said, I can get them for free for life. He said, "Oh, good." But he would have to be alive to still get it. Yeah. So the hybrid. More people getting. I was able to see the bolt being assembled on one of the channels on YouTube, but they only had the frame and everything built already. The battery comes from China. That's the only thing I'm worried about. The battery is supposed to last longer. That's what GM says. It's supposed to last long. You get 1,000 to 5,000 cycles. That's one thing I didn't discuss in the prior video. We didn't talk about how many times you could charge it for and how long it would last. So, okay, say you bought the vehicle, the Bolt, in 2027, and you didn't drive it too much. It could actually last, and you charge it all the time, every day. It could last until 2052. But the other cars on the road today, they can't do that. They have to have the same type of battery. If they don't have the same type of that new phosphorus batteries, if they don't have it, it's the LFP. If they don't have it, they ain't gonna last. They short term. That's what you have to watch out for. No matter which one you bought, GM, Toyota, Honda, all of them. Honda's gone back to nickel clad batteries. Boy, yeah, it's a shame. They're not telling you all the truth. And the new ones have the Tesla connector, which you want too. It's expensive, but hey, you gotta do it. The Bolt, would I get it? I wanted the self-driving feature. You just lay back and it drives itself. Yeah, but GM charges you what they say on that again. It's a lot of money. I think it's almost $100 they're charging for that. I think the first couple of months it's free. Let's see. Let's see. Self-drive on the 2027 Bolt. First year free. Yeah, because the mapping system, you have to pay for that. And after that, okay, nobody talks about that. I wish you could just talk back. Super Cruise, free for the first 3 years of ownership, and you must pay monthly annual subscription fee to keep the hands-free driving with it. 3 years is included for free. 3 years after the 3 years. So Super Cruise renewal, $25 a month, or $250 annually. Boy, so you have to pay $250 for that. First of all, that thing is expensive as it is to add it. And yeah, you're gonna say, well, gee, I would like to have that. But now all the roads are, mapped for that. And you can't just fall asleep and the vehicle's gonna drive you home. You have to watch. I know some trainers. It's a neat feature to have. I would like to get the tech package. You get more features. I know I know GM, they cut the costs on some stuff. No Bose stereo. It's gonna sound flat. No Apple CarPlay or Android CarPlay. It's when you want to use your own login and profile and you have your own apps and stuff like that. They want you to do subscription, and that's what their GM is doing now. Hey, they can charge you a subscription. I remember years ago, GM was asking for money, and the taxpayers had to use the money to build that company back up. Otherwise, they would have been gone, and everything would have been, well, Japanese can't even make it too. They're messing up too. It's a shame. Chinese, the bodies of the vehicles. Ever since I seen that video on Australia with the SUVs from China and Australia rusted out. There's no way to fix it. They're not coded properly. I don't understand. China, they need more quality control. They can do it. They they launched a rocket the other day. No problem. That rocket went up into space. Why didn't they do that with the rust problem? So I don't know. And like I said, if I was going to get something, I want it coated. You said, well, no, I don't think they're going to coat the battery. Yeah, the battery's already sealed. See the new battery was from the Bolt. It's designed for the cold and the hot weather. The other ones, they have all kind of problem. And the other ones, you have to charge them at 80%. They don't want you to go higher. Even though let's say they can, there's this, you're gonna play life short span. Where the Bolt, battery can charge to 100% all the time. There's no restriction. The Nissan Leaf have a nice car. I like the dashboard, but the battery is the problem. And Nissan needs to put that kind of battery in there too. Then that should have that feature, and you can charge it to 100%. Yeah, who ever heard charging it to 80%? Yeah, that's ridiculous, And that's a lot of these cars that do. I know the Chevy's Bolt is tiny. It's not an SUV. It's a car. They always say SUV, small utility vehicle. It doesn't have no fancy lift for the back. So if you're used to hatchback, that's what you get. It's basic. It's a basic vehicle. That's how they did it. They did it basic. They cut the corners and they did it basic. RS gives you that Ambrance Light. I don't know if that's the same tech package, because I can't go to a Chevy dealer right now. I'd have to go as an internet buyer or go as an Amazon buyer. Amazon Beta has cars. Amazon sells cars. It's supposed to be cheaper. Even Alexa didn't even know about that Amazon feature. Shoot. I had to get a battery. A battery is coming. Yeah, it costs us $500. Peak power is 3,000 watts and 2,000. So it's basically 2,000. But enough to power our portable air conditioning. The electrician is coming. Calls me on the phone and tells me he's coming on the 4th. He's pretty cool. So he has to change the box, the circuit breaker box. That whole box has to be changed. That was something my neighbor has to get his done too. He looks at me like he's out of space. But it has to be done. We have to do it. It's dangerous. We lose power quickly. A lot of tripping going on here. I mean, and a lot of stuff has a lot of high power too. Boy, something's my eye again. Yeah. So, good deal. He's doing it. He drives a hybrid battery, AA battery. Maverick. It's a Maverick. That what he drives. Yeah. He said he want to get an F Lightning. Good F-150 Lightning. Good look with that. That's 110,000. So, or more for those things. I to be honest, I can't see spending all this money on these things because there's a battery in there, right? And that's what it's supposed to do. It's battery. It's battery powered vehicle. That's basically what it is. Unless they come at something else. But that's what they're offering now in 2026. In this year. This is what happened. The 2027 is out already. And that's it. But you need that kind of battery. Don't buy anything without that battery. There's only a few vehicles out there that have that battery. And some vehicles are rear-wheel drive. Now, you all know how a rear-wheel drive worked. You step on the accelerator, a lot of drag racing back in the days. 70s. I don't know about the 50s. I wasn't around there. So I can't help you with it. But driving, I used to drive rear-wheel drive in the snow. It's a nightmare. That's why you have front-wheel drive. It's supposed to save better gas mileage and be better. A lot of you have to have, a lot of you in Canada and, any place in Alaska, any place that needs four-wheel drive, they have to have all-wheel drive. Well, all-wheel drive is always running. Okay? 4x4, you can shift it. You have to turn the locks and the wheels. It's supposed to be modern now. A computer's supposed to do it, but some of the older models, you have to get out and turn the lock and lock the wheels in, and the front would spin and the rear would spin. I drive a Toyota FJ Cruiser, a V6. I wasn't impressed with that. I felt like it was driving a tank around. And gas mileage on that was awful. But now we have electric and electric range. A lot of electric vehicles, 250, 260, 290, 300, 300 and something. And those are the range. Well, think of it as a gas car. A lot of gas cars could not do 300 miles on a full tank of gas. But electric is different. The torque is different. You have full power like that. You know, the, uh, I don't know. What do you want the car to do? Talk to you and talk back to you, have a conversation. Uh, I know GM has a lot of restrictions on their vehicles. Though, 3 years after 3 years, we're supposed to get rid of the car. And you have to pay $250 a year every year. Oh boy, that's crazy. On top of that, the government wants you to pay for the EV, 135 for the EV a year, and that's a tax you have to pay every year. Yeah, only the EV before they give you a tax incentive for getting it, and $35 for the plug-in hybrid. But nothing, they're not coming after the AA battery vehicle, the hybrid. Technically, that is a gas. Those two are gas. Okay, they have a battery and an electric motor. That's it. The whole EV is strictly all EV. You still have transaxle might have to be oiled. It might be self-sealed. Okay, the transmission, you have to change no fluid. It's supposed to be all electronic. It's electric motor. There should be nothing in there that you have to replace except for the 12-volt battery. They should have had that 12-volt battery connected, but I guess it did. If the case the main battery dies, you would have a battery, and that battery should be lithium. But I don't know what Chevy's has done. I'd have to look at that vehicle and see how much corners they cracked. But a lot of people are buying them. They come in white. The pop color is white and black. Was in the warehouse. You hardly see anything else come down. Blue came down, but you hardly see the yellow. Well, that would be a long-term vehicle if you had it. Yeah. So like I said, we're getting a battery pack when and this would be great because I had an electric vehicle. I have 1,000 watts. Let me see something. Huh? It's actually 2,000 watts. It's an Anchor 2,000 watts. 2,000 watts and 3,000 watts peak on the Bolt. Would I get 100% charge with this? Okay. It's the SOLIXC 1000 Gen. No, you cannot get 100% charge. How much of a charge can you get? It would be less than 50% charge. Wow. Well, the battery is different. Well, okay, so you are low and you have it in the trunk. How many miles? More range. Yeah. So the solar panel and the Anchor battery, you would get 11 to 12 miles extra per day. So say you're stranded. That's another thing too. If you're on a long trip, you're gonna have to carry something with you. You can't take chances. You're gonna have to have some. So say I want to go to the border. That's about 300 miles. Can the bolt take me there? Are we gonna strip it clean? Nothing in it. That's me. Because if you had 4 grown big men in there, that's a lot of weight. I wonder how they tested it. Did they test it like we would drive it, or did they test it like with dummies in there? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but that's something somebody needs to think about. Um, I guess I'll make another video for that. I will try to keep the videos on subject and not swaying off into into the sunset. Month is coming to the end. Um, but that's what I wanted to talk about on these vehicles, because it's electric and a lot of you're trying to. Gas is high. The gas price went down. I see to 4 something. Then it went back up again. Diesel is higher, over $5. That's crazy because I thought the truckers would complain about that. And then you have to pay a tax. You got GM with the 250 after 3 years. So you buy it now by 2030, you have to pay 250 a year. Crazy. Or 50 a month. And that's just for the self-driving. You might say, gee, I don't want to pay that. Then, it's crazy. You shouldn't have to, it's your vehicle. Everything should work. You shouldn't have to pay extra for anything. But they do. You should check the fine print before you buy anything. And if you can, buy that vehicle outright. You tell them, this is how much I have. What kind of price? It's cash. There's no bank. It's just me and you. What can you get for? What can you give me for the free? If they can't give you, just go to another dealership. You just keep going until you get the price and what you want. Otherwise, you're gonna. The haggling is gonna be hard. But today's it's different now. A lot of your older vehicles are starting to give out. And you don't want to go. You want to play the gas game, because you see what happens. There's the gas is here already, but the gas is overseas. The overseas pipeline. If it's destructed or something happened to it, prices here shoot up over the roof. Yet the oil is already in the ground. It's ready to pump out and put in your vehicle, heat your house. It shouldn't be like that. If they have to get existing, the prices should go up for new fuel coming in, not the prior fuel coming out. That's a stupid rule they got. They do that all the time. It's terrible. And you all get stressed out and anxiety and trying to figure out how you're going to pay for the fuel. And everybody's rushing. And if they run out of fuel, you're really double screwed there. It's a terrible system we have. Hey, if you find this video helpful, hit sub the channel. Thanks for those who are subbed. Okay, that's it. We're gone.